Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, so something that people often ask is like, I eat well. Are vitamins really important? Is it important that I do this? And what's important to know is that even when we're trying our hardest, most of us fall short on meeting our recommended daily intake of the vitamins and minerals that our body needs to function well. And even as a little kid, I learned the 5-a-day rule. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 a day. That's the fruit and vegetable way. Well, as hard as I try, I don't eat 5 fruits and vegetables most days. I might get 3, I might get 4, but I have a hard time getting 5, and I really make an effort to do so. And so I know that I make an effort, not everyone makes an effort, and it's still hard for me. So there are some holes even when we try really hard. And there's some holes in our diet even when we try really hard. And if we're deficient for like a week, it's no big deal. If we're deficient for a lifetime, long-term damage happens. And it's also really important that you look at supplements kind of carefully, because in the past, vitamins were made like in a laboratory, and the supplements weren't able to be used by our bodies. And then in the 80s and 90s, companies realized that since they weren't being absorbed really well, let's just throw mega doses together and put tons and tons of these nutrients, because more is better, right? And then created supplements that our body still can't absorb, now in higher quantities, that might not be benefiting us and might even be detrimental. So in the US, 9 out of 10 adults don't meet their RDI for the vitamins D, E, and over half of us don't meet the RDI for vitamins A, calcium, magnesium. And even if you're vegan or vegetarian, you're unlikely to get enough vitamin D, B12, calcium, iron, and zinc. So long-term, these deficiencies in these vitamins can cause lack of energy, reduced immunity, weak bones, a decline in cognitive function, and other health issues. So what experts support is eating healthy and then supplementing with a good multivitamin and mineral supplement. So how should that supplement be formulated? How do we know what the levels are and if they're right? And since most vitamins don't have the proper levels of micronutrients and the optimum intakes, they offer either really high or not quite high enough. So what happens when we get too much? These questions have kept scientists busy for the past 50 years, and it's clear that it's time to really take a close look at this. So I've got a question. What do you think? If you're taking a multivitamin, does it meet your recommended daily intake for micronutrients and vitamins and minerals? As I mentioned, not all vitamins are created equal. And so what we're going to do today is dive in and see what a solid whole food multivitamin looks like and what that can offer to us. So, one thing I love about doTERRA is that since their inception, they have never believed in more is better. Let's just pack this with micronutrients, and then we know we'll cover all of the bases. What's important to know is that the way doTERRA's multivitamins were formulated was with the specific country's diet in mind. So the US formulation of Lifelong Vitality looks different from what doTERRA sells in the Chinese market, looks different than what they sell in the European market, because they've based their formulations on research of what the average diet is in these particular countries. So we get a lot more tomatoes in our diet, which have lutein and lycopene, than people in Asia do. So they've got more lutein and lycopene because they have less tomatoes. We naturally get more tomatoes just because of the standard American diet. And so the levels of that are augmented. So that's something to note, that we're trying to dial in to what your body needs and the right amount for you to assimilate, to benefit, and to make sure that you're getting the most out of those vitamins. So while there's no complete replacement to a healthy diet, and exercise, because that's so important as well. Moving your body is huge. We have Lifelong Vitality, as well as a kids version, which is the A to Z Chewable and IQ Mega, which are meant to be used on a daily basis to help support and maintain a foundation for a healthy lifestyle. And so it's not to say that other supplements can't be used on a regular basis, but these supplements are meant for anyone to use daily. And it's a product that, if you look at those 3 bottles, it's a 30-day supply, and it comes packed with antioxidants, nutrients, and metabolism benefits that help to increase our energy, our immunity, and our sense of well-being. And so the ultimate goal is to promote overall health and wellness through all of doTERRA's offerings. But what also plays a role in the impact of these products are how much rest we get, what we eat, our efforts towards weight management and physical activity, our genetics, and our stress management. I want you to know that your genetics are not a sentence. They can be activated and deactivated. So if you do healthy things and take good care, you can help favor the expression of the positive genes, the healthy genes in your body. Whereas we all have both. We all have genes for good, vibrant health and not as good health, things that we don't want. So favoring getting good rest, helping our body to detox, eating well, supplementing well will help to play out the best of our genetics. So what's also really cool is these products have been researched. Lifelong Vitality has proven that it can help change the factors related to our wellness and our aging. And a huge part of this is that they tap into what's going on within our cells to support metabolic factors that boost our cells' performance and help to support good DNA replication. So as you think about this, I've got a question for you. We are all products of our environment and of our cells. So what's really cool about what we're going to talk about today when we break Lifelong Vitality apart into its 3 components is that we're working at the level of our cells to make them healthier so that as a whole unit of cells operating in symphony, we can feel better too. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is Alpha CRS Plus. So it's the product on the left. And if you have any guesses, you can enter them in the chat or you can unmute yourself. What do you think Alpha CRS Plus means? And I will give you the answer shortly. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about inflammation while you think about Alpha CRS Plus. It's the cellular vitality supplement. That's a little bit of a hint. So we're going to talk a bit about inflammation. And I know that inflammation, anti-inflammatory, antioxidants are all buzzwords. They're all really popular in the media to advertise for health products. And so I just want you to know, this is our little biology class moment. I want you to know what inflammation actually is, what it's doing in your body, and how you can augment it. So inflammation is a natural process in the body. It is always happening. As far as what it is a chemical reaction. So inflammation is the process of oxidizing an atom in your body. And oxidation outside of our bodies looks like rusting. So in the environment, metal rusts when it's oxidized because it's the water that falls onto the metal has a different charge than the metal itself. It changes the charge of the metal, causes the rusting that we can see. We can't see inflammation in our bodies. We can't see our bodies rusting, but we sure can feel it. So inflammation, in the ways that we can see, it looks like chronic pain, looks like skin issues, looks like cardiovascular disease, looks like issues with our immune system. It also looks like cellular health issues, cognitive function, if I didn't mention that already. Lots of physical joint things are inflammatory in nature. And what causes inflammation in our bodies? Well, I mentioned it's a natural process, but we also contribute to it. So it happens naturally because as our body produces energy, it creates charged particles, charged electrons that oxidize cells. So basically they cause a cell to rust because they take their negative charge and change the charge of an an item in the body. And so when they change the charge, they affect the structure of that body part. And when we're talking body parts, I'm talking really small now. So I'm not really talking body parts, I'm talking cell parts. And when a cell part is changed, it doesn't function the same way, and that inhibits its functioning. So if we drank all clean water, breathed all clean air, ate all really, really pure, never processed foods, our body would handle its natural inflammatory load pretty well. Where we get into some trouble is eating high inflammatory foods. And we also get into some trouble with the air we breathe, the water we drink, and all the chemicals and toxins we're exposed to. And so now we're adding to our body's natural production of inflammatory components, and our body can't balance it out. So when we talk about anti-inflammatories and antioxidants, what they do is go in and scavenge or search out those free radicals, those charged particles that create damage to our cells, that change the shape of our cells. So what we're going to be talking about, especially in alpha CRS plus and ZE omega, are the components of them that scavenge in our bodies for what causes inflammation and what causes the breakdown of cellular components. So huge, really powerful, really effective ways of being healthier longer. So now I'm going to give you the answer. I realize I cannot see the chat when I'm doing this and watching the screen, so my apologies. The answer to the question is, oops, I have to tell you what it is. It means, the alpha means first or foremost, and CRS stands for cellular renewal system. So this is our first line of defense for cellular renewal, which is huge when it comes to anti-aging. And the plus sign just means that doTERRA has improved upon their initial formula, and this is version number 2. So let's really dig into our alpha CRS plus. Antioxidants that I just talked about come from our food, come from essential oils, and come from different herbs, and they're one of the most critical nutritional components to health because they affect the breakdown and the rusting of our cells that lead to free radicals and cell damage and inflammation, which leads to so many other things. So what antioxidants do is help your body to handle the stress of oxidation, as well as keep our heart, our cardiovascular system, our brain, and our nervous system functioning at their peak. So what I love about this particular product is it's got a broad range of ingredients. And from my days of working in a health food store, I would see many of these supplements that are combined in alpha CRS plus come to the register with someone. I'd ask them why they take it, I'd get super excited, and my list of supplements that I wanted to take would grow and grow and grow to the level that I could not keep up with. So what's really cool about alpha CRS plus is it contains a bunch of those things that I wanted to take all in one supplement. So we've got polyphenols from scutellaria root, we've got resveratrol, we've got pomegranate fruit extract and grapeseed extract, curcumin, which comes from turmeric. It's the really potent part of turmeric that provides the anti-inflammatory and pain-fighting benefits. It also helps to support detox. And silymarin, which comes from milk thistle, is also in our alpha CRS plus. And silymarin is really great for the liver. So definitely a support there to help keep detox happening well in our bodies. In addition, it has boswellia serrata for boswellic acid. And boswellic acid is a potent ingredient in frankincense. So this is the physical component, not the oil component, but the structural component from boswellia or from frankincense. And that helps with a healthy inflammatory response in cells. It's also got ginkgo biloba, which is an herb that's really great for cognitive function and mental clarity. And it also supports, alpha CRS supports cellular energy. It has CoQ10, quercetin, alpha lipoic acid, and acetyl L-carnitine. And these ingredients help our cells to produce energy via making our mitochondria, the cellular energy production component, making it more efficient and more abundant. As we age, the number of mitochondria we have naturally decrease, and that blend of CoQ10 and others help to increase the number and efficiency of our mitochondria so our bodies can produce energy like they did when we were younger. So another thing that doTERRA has made sure of is a lot of times people have digestive issues or a hard time taking supplements. It's recommended to take our Lifelong Vitality with food, and it's recommended to, it's also made easier on our tummies because they have a blend of different herbs that are a stomach soother blend. So knowing that, it helps people who have a hard time taking supplements make this something that they can try. So it's also formulated to be used with ZE omega, and you're going to see that with an X, but it is it's really like a Greek numeral, so it's pronounced ZE omega and Microplex VMZ, and they work together for long-lasting vitality and wellness. And so the whole deal is that we're looking at something that can create an experience change. We're looking at something that will give you a different feeling when you're taking it. And people have reported really cool things, which we'll talk about as we go through. So that was the nitty gritty. Now here's the super skinny on this. Alpha CRS has several benefits. I'm just going to rattle them off. It's great to inhibit free radicals that cause oxidative stress to our DNA and inflammation. It supports healthy immune function in our bodies at the cellular level. It promotes healthy energy production. It also isn't just support for our body, but is also a support for our brain. And sometimes our supplements overlook our cognitive function. So brain runs the show. It's so important to keep the brain functioning optimally. And also, it's really wonderful for reducing oxidative stress. And if you have dietary restrictions, doTERRA has thought about this. There is no gluten, there's no dairy, no milk, no wheat, no animal products. They come in veggie caps, and it makes it easy for lots of people to take. And what you'll notice is that this one is definitely one that will contribute to a different feeling as far as energy is concerned. But we're going to look at the next one from here. So next we're going to go to Microplex VMZ. This is our whole food multivitamin. And what it means when I say whole food multi is very simply, most conventional multivitamins are produced in a lab. And as they're produced, chemicals are combined, and these nutrients, our vitamins, our minerals, are synthesized. And while they might match the molecular and chemical structure of naturally sourced vitamins and minerals, our body does not recognize them as such, and oftentimes can't make a good use of them. So the bioavailability, or the amount the body can absorb of a conventional over-the-counter multi, is about 8 to 10%. So your body will be able to use 8 to 10% of the nutrients. However, with a whole food multi like doTERRA's Microplex VMZ, our body recognizes it because these nutrients come from broccoli and spinach and foods that we eat, and our body can absorb 85 to 90% of them, which is just the opposite. We're absorbing the same amount that the body was releasing from conventional chemically derived vitamins. So because of that, I love this whole food multi. It has, just so that you've got a kind of like an idea of what's going on here, in our Western diet, we've got more calories than we need and not enough essential nutrients for optimal health. So what we see here is an ability to balance our diets by adding in all 26 of essential vitamins and minerals and micronutrients from the food that we need. And something that you're going to hear as I go through is the term essential nutrients. And what that means, it's not about essential oils. Essential nutrients are what our body needs to function that our bodies can't produce. So there's essential fatty acids that we need, there's essential amino acids that we need, and there's essential vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that we need that our bodies cannot make internally, even with all the best ingredients. And so some of those things we do get from the outside. And so what we've got here is a really balanced combination of the nutrients that your body needs and can't always get in the doses that are appropriate for proper absorption without going way beyond and without falling short. doTERRA has hit a sweet spot with these multivitamins. Let me check my notes and make sure I didn't miss anything here. Okay, Yeah, with the contemporary diet in mind, with our diet in mind, this is meant to fill the gaps. And when we fill those gaps, we get more energy. And because we become what we eat, if we're giving our body the fuel, we will be built on better stuff. So the next thing, I've got another quiz, and this one's multiple choice. doTERRA ZE Omega is next, the marine and land essential oil omega complex. It's a unique formula of certified pure therapeutic grade essential oils and marine and land source omega fatty acids. So what are the potential benefits? There's 6 choices. A, heart and circulatory health. B, supporting healthy joint function and joint comfort. C, providing immune boosting nutrients. D, supporting healthy function of the brain, the eyes, and the nervous system. E, promoting healthy skin. Or F, all of the above. I think by now you probably have an idea. If you want to make a guess, just unmute yourself and shout it
out. F.
Awesome. You would be right. F, all of the above. So when we're looking at supplements that are well formulated and well rounded, they're not just going to impact one part of us. That doesn't even make any sense. We are this beautifully designed, complex, and integrated organism. So if we're benefiting in one regard, it's going to make benefits throughout the whole system. So this is one of my faves. I'm really excited to get into the nitty-gritty of the ZE Omega with you. So what our diet has a lot of as Americans is omega-6 fatty acids, and our bodies need some omega-6. You'll find them in like the really abundant sources are corn products, soybean oil, soybean products, canola oil, safflower oil, kind of the naughty oils that we hear about have a lot of omega-6 in them. And we need some omega-6, but the deal is the proportionality is way out of whack. We get way more omega-6 than we need from our diets and way less omega-3 than we need from our diets. And what excess omega-6 actually leads to, any guesses, kind of the buzzword of our whole conversation, the thing that we're trying to fight here, omega-6 leads to heightened levels of I know you know it. All right. Who's got it?
Inflammation.
Yes, Deb. Thank you so much. So lots of omega-6 lead to inflammation. How do we reduce that? By adding omega-3s to help balance them out. And what we'll talk about when we talk about essential fatty acids are omegas that our bodies cannot produce even with all the best ingredients. So omega-3 fatty acids are really important for cardiovascular, immune health, joint function, cellular growth, brain development, and a proper inflammatory response. So one of the most important aspects of overall health is found in the ZE Omega supplement. And what's really challenging about this is our sources of ZE Omega are limited. So we can get them from fish and marine algae. Oftentimes, those are foods that people either don't prefer, don't prepare often, or that are expensive. And honestly, like, when was the last time someone told you that they were eating marine algae? I don't know. It's been a while since someone told me that, if ever. And sometimes they don't taste that good. So we don't find, not that we can't get omega-3s from our diet, we just don't find them in a lot of foods we commonly eat. So what we have here is a really comprehensive supplement, and it was formulated to be used with the Microplex VMZ and Alpha CRS Plus. And I'm going to geek out on this one a little bit more. So what ZE Omega has in addition to a great level of omega-3 is several essential oils. So if you're someone who loves your oils and doesn't have time to be slathering them on all day long, this is a great supplement to be getting the benefits from the inside. Some of the most potent oils are in our ZE Omega, including clove, frankincense, thyme, cumin, wild orange, peppermint, ginger, caraway, and German chamomile. And these work to really enhance the effectiveness of the omega supplement. and add additional antioxidant protection. This also has vitamin D and vitamin E. It's got 800 IUs of vitamin D in a daily dose and 20 IUs of vitamin E. This is really important for the health of our bones, the functioning of our immune system, and our inflammatory response. Vitamin E is also an antioxidant, and it's great for the immune function. Something else to note about ZE Omega. I've taken a lot of omega supplements in my life, and most of them repeated on me. Most of them I would have fish burps. And the reason for that is the oil wasn't emulsified. So if you think about pouring olive oil on water, you'll see that olive oil just sitting on the surface in a big clump. And that's what happens when we take many fish oil supplements. It's opened up in our gut and the molecules stay really close together. That's all well and good, except when they stay close together, the surface area that our body has to break it down and draw it in is reduced. And so the oil that's found in the capsules of ZE Omega, which are not very large, I have my trusty dusty right here, if you want to zoom in. These are actually pretty small as far as omegas go, but the oil that's in here is pre-emulsified. So when you pop this capsule, and I've done it, so that's how I know, when you pop this capsule and squeeze it into water, it will separate. And you'll see that, yes, the oil will stay closer to the top because of the molecular weight is different, it's less dense, but it won't stay in one blob, one distinct blob. It'll spread throughout. What you'll also find is that it'll tint the water red. And the reason for that is there is an algae pigment in our ZE Omega called astaxanthin. Astaxanthin is a powerful anti-inflammatory substance produced by algae when they're exposed to sunlight. It is the algae's protection from the UV rays of the sun. So when we ingest it, it actually helps to make our skin more sun resistant, less sensitive to UV rays. And it's one of the very few antioxidants that can break the blood-brain barrier. And that's why the omega supplement is such a great one for cognitive function, mental clarity, memory, mood support and stability, and the functioning of the central nervous system. So this is one that helps our central nervous system to stay youthful and vibrant, and provides a lot of stability in that way. So I can't say enough good about these three supplements together and ZE Omega in particular, because I know that people know that omegas are good, that omega-3s are good things to supplement with. And I do believe that ZE Omega has taken it to another level in that way. I missed one thing. They also have lutein, lycopene, and zeaxanthin, which are great for our eyes and help to, actually people have seen improvements in their eyes with using this product. So next, what I'm going to do is hear what wellness advocates have to say about our lifelong vitality. And I'm going to end my screen share for a minute and come back to you guys because I miss your lovely faces. And if you have had an experience with lifelong vitality that you would like to share, you're welcome to. No pressure to, but I feel like people love hearing people's stories.
I could go.
Go for it, Lori. Thank you.
So, of course, I've been doing this for 3 years now, and have not ever taken the LLV consistently, because I didn't think that I really could. I didn't know if it would really make a difference. So at convention, they did a specific talk on the LLV. And I thought, you know what, this is really important. Michael and I are pursuing health and wellness. It makes sense to add this in. So from last convention until now, I've been taking the LLV. So I guess it's been around 5 months or so. And I was really shocked at the difference that it has made in a chronic kind of thing that I've always had, and never thought anything would really help with it. Has to do with like my reproductive system, and it's just been like just a pain in the tush, like since the beginning. And I just figured, okay, it's going to be like this forever. So since I've been taking the LOV, the first month, I thought it was just a complete fluke and something was just kind of crazy. The second month, I thought I started seeing like a trend. By the third and fourth and now fifth month, my sorry for the, I don't want it to be too much information, but my menstrual cycle is drastically different. And so much so that it's wonderful. And I know the only thing that I've changed in this time period was adding the LLV. So whatever my body needed and was not getting for this whole entire time, by adding these supplements, along with all the other changes we're doing, we're, you know, trying to eat better, we're moving, we're very purposeful in that sort of thing.
In the middle of a webinar. Yeah, let me call. I'm so sorry. Okay.
But the LLV has drastically helped. So that's my story.
Thank you for sharing that, Lori.
Awesome.
We have time for one more person to share their experience.
I can share mine because mine is kind of mine and someone that I work with. So mine has definitely been, I've taken vitamins before I've gotten sick. You see the bright color of your urine and all of that. It kind of goes right through you instead of your body absorbing it and using it. So since taking the LLV, I definitely see a huge difference. My energy levels are up. I'm seeing that my body's actually using what I'm taking in and doing what it needs to do with it. Because as we get older, with the different things in the air around us and the processed foods and all the different things like that, we're not getting the nutrients that our body really does need to have. So this definitely helps with that. So I've definitely felt a huge difference with that personally. And then one of the ladies that I work with, her husband's had chronic pain. He was in sports and had terrible pain getting up all the time. And he's always groaning and grunting and all of that. And he's been taking this now for 2 months. And she says he gets up in the morning now and there's no grunting and groaning. And it's just, he's able to, I mean, he still has some pain, but of course with injuries from different sports, but definitely feeling so much better, feeling better about getting up in the beginning of the day, all of that. So it's definitely made a difference in their life as well.
Yay. Thank you for sharing that, Tracy Lynn.
Thanks.
Awesome. So I am just going to flip back into the presentation. I've got like 3 more slides. Thank you so much for sticking with us. It's been wonderful to share this with you. I think you're really going to like what I have in store. If I can figure out how to do this right. No, I know I can. We got this. We got this. All right. Zoom, start the broadcast. 3, 2, 1. Yay, here we go. So, one thing to know, what should we do if we're like, you know what, I'm going to try this. What should I do to make sure that I have the best success with this? So we talked about the pyramid of wellness. Try and get in your exercise. Commit to making a few changes here so that you're getting 30 minutes of exercise a day, at least 4 to 6 days a week. Avoid smoking. Try and eat healthy. Eating healthy is really a broad thing to say. A great idea is to look at one thing you do that you know isn't healthy, remove it, and add in something healthy. So just do a substitution there. Drink more water. Drink your weight. Drink twice your weight in ounces every day. And this last one is almost silly. I'm going to say diffuse oils for stress management, because just saying avoiding stress is like telling me not to go out into the world and live my life. So do what you need to do to help manage stress. And those are all super happy things to help make your experience on Lifelong Vitality even better. So my goal for you is that you take something away from this that inspires you to make a change for the better, whether that's trying Lifelong Vitality, whether that's throwing that on your LRP, or just thinking a bit more critically about who could benefit from this, because maybe you know someone who would really benefit from this information, really benefit from trying this. I want you to be happy. I want you to be healthy. And I know that healthy people have 1,000 dreams. People who aren't healthy have one, and that's to get healthier. And this is a way that you can help to really drive in some solid footing on a direction toward wellness. And so it's been really wonderful to spend time with such an amazing group as you. I thank you for sharing this time with me. What I want to show you here is how easy it is to bring Lifelong Vitality into your medicine cabinet. So the best way to buy Lifelong Vitality is on the Loyalty Rewards program. For members, it's $79.50 to bring a month's supply into your house. And $79.50 for a 30-day supply is a wonderful value. When doTERRA created this product, they had one of the top vitamin formulators in the world come and make it, and they said, we want you to make the supplements that you would take, and we want you to hold cost back. Like, we don't want you to let cost be an issue. So sky is the limit on the ingredients that go in. And in doing that, they put this product out, and at that $79.50 price, they are not profiting on it. They're not making money on this because they want to make sure that Lifelong Vitality gets into as many homes as possible. What's even cooler is if you're a member and you're using the LRP, you're going to get $10 in free product credit every time you order this product. So the $10 includes shipping reimbursement and 10% back on the volume of the product. And just like everything else doTERRA sells, if you take these bottles and empty them, and after 30 days do not notice any change in your health, your energy, your immunity, your mood, your cognitive function, your physical experience of symptoms, doTERRA will give you your money back. So you've got nothing to lose. So for non-members, it's $106 to purchase the Lifelong Vitality Pack. I highly recommend, if you want this product, become a member. If you're here because of an invitation you received from me, please get in touch if you have questions about membership or adding this to your loyalty rewards order. If one of my awesome team members in doTERRA invited you here, please connect up with them. My website URL is here if you're a newbie who's come through from my marketing, but if not, I want you to make sure you connect with the person who invited you. Know that this is only the beginning, and that once you start the snowball in the direction of health, it only picks up momentum, gets bigger, and brings more good things with it. So before we go, I wanted to tell you about the next webinar I'm hosting. It's next month on April 10th at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. The link to register is here, so take a picture, write it down if you know you want to join us, or even if you think you want to join us and want to make sure you have the information. We're going to be talking about women's health essentials, which will be a combination of some supplements and essential oils for hormone balance, healthy aging, and feeling good throughout the lifespan, through all the cycles of being a woman. And so I want to make sure that everyone has a chance to just get that link, and then I'm going to pull it down and say goodbye to everyone.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
Thank you.
So any questions before we sign off?
I just have one question. I off and on start taking the supplements and I'm not consistent with them. The people who are on that take it, do you take like half in the morning, half in the afternoon? For me, it's a lot of supplements to take at one time.
That's a great question, Michelle. The recommendation is half at breakfast, half at lunch for sustained energy throughout the day. And for each of the three supplements, the recommended daily dose is 4 capsules.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that every body needs 4 capsules. My body is a lot shorter than some people's bodies. So I've augmented. I take 4 of the omega, 4 of the alpha CRS, and 2 of the multi. And what I do, because I have a hard time being consistent as well, Michelle, and I travel a lot. I travel a lot. And I make up every week, I make up my little Lifelong Vitality supplement kit so that I can just throw this in my bag and know that I have it with me. So even if I forget to take it first thing in the morning, I can just pop it open when I remember.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maria, it's Deb. I
Hey,
have a
Deb.
couple of hi. I have a couple of quick questions. How soon do you typically see results with this? Because I've been trying different supplements, and I just don't see the results, and I'm just hoping that there's some results within a couple of months.
In the study that doTERRA ran, they took individuals and put them on lifelong vitality for 2 months and had them make no changes to their anything else.
Yeah.
And in 2 months, their markers for cardiovascular health, blood sugar, and metabolism, all of their lab results changed. And they say definitely to take 1 month and see if you notice something. By the end of 2 months, you should notice something with these supplements. I would say most people probably notice something a little bit sooner than that, but 2 months is a very conservative time frame.
Yeah, and I agree with what Tony just typed too. I guess everybody does respond differently depending on your personal needs.